back with another morning recording.
It's 12:20.
On a Sunday, so that's early.
I am drinking coffee right now, to be fair. Thank you for coming back from our replay reviews. My name is Leah.
And my name is Kathy.
We are two friends who are here to replay, review, and analyze your favorite video games. And since Kathy has never seen the games before, it helps me view them through her fresh eyes, almost like I'm discovering them again for the first time.
We hope it'll be a similar experience for you.
In this episode, somehow we're in a sewer again, but this time it's for the plot. Is she a robot? And Playboy Steve really needs to keep some things to himself. Vito is released from prison early and picks up right where he left off, though his first day of freedom does not go as planned. So Chapter 7, in loving memory of Francesco Potenza. Do we even meet that person? I don't know if we do.
Is that the dead body?
Maybe. Frankie, I guess? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Anyway, Empire Bay, April 10th, 1951. Galante did manage to reduce Vito's sentence by 4 years. As he's released, he says it's a whole new world. No, it's just not winter anymore, Vito.
It's that, but it's females dressed less conservative. Because the camera immediately pans over to them.
You were like, is she naked?
The color was off.
She was not, in fact, naked. Backless dress, people. Unsurprisingly, Vito heads to Joe's, and he has an apartment secured for him, and also gives him some money and a gun, and says that he needs to introduce Vito to someone. We both reacted to the gun placement.
And she's on the couch. Why is it so casually placed there?
Tossed it on the couch when he came home last night. God forbid someone sit on it.
I don't understand why the first thing he does coming out of jail is to see Joe and not maybe his sister or pay his respects to his mom's grave. Like, he completely forgets about his sister and his mom at this point. And I'm done with him.
I don't know if we ever get mention of his mother again, if I'm being honest. I don't recall. But I agree with you. They drive off to Vito's apartment, and we learn that Joe hasn't seen Henry in a few years, and that he is now working for the Falcone family.
This is going to get them killed by changing families. I don't know what the loyalty stuff is going to be like, but I think this is going to backfire.
Yeah. I mean, I guess they were being lied to and extorted for the $5,000, but still, risky. All dressed up at Joe's, we meet Eddie Scarpa, and they head out for a drink. Scarpa says, "Don't let me drink too much. I gotta take care of something later." I hate that. If you don't want to drink too much, that's on you.
Yeah. Stop making it other people's problem that you can't get your own things done and all your ducks in a row.
I don't know if you want to do your notes. My next one is just, why the is he doing this during a conversation?
That's my note. So the next part, we're in the club, we see a lot of stuff. And then we also see Eddie having a conversation while multitasking. I don't know if
he's being attended to.
Yeah. By someone's mouth. And so
it's unnecessary. It kind of reminds me of Nishitani.
This is way worse.
But it makes that scene a little bit better. A lot better. Also, why does this lady look like a robot? Like, she looks not okay.
And her neck is outstretched long like a turtle.
And the face she's making is like,
Freaking drunk Eddie is pretty much throwing really mean, they're not slurs, but I mean, just really not nice words.
They should be.
Naming them. Yeah.
I'll say it. Cum dumpster.
It's just, and this entire scene made me so uncomfortable. Like, why?
I don't know if it made it better or worse that the animation is so dated. Eddie offers to let Vito in on the work for Falcone. He accepts. He's way too excited about it. And then, as the night goes on, Joe and Eddie are just absolutely drunk. poor Vito. I think this is maybe the only time that we can say poor Vito and actually mean it.
Yeah, that is true.
So they're leaving. Vito has to drive because he's the least drunk. And it takes the two of them forever to get into the car. And it irritates me so much.
You're done with it. And then what's going to be even more irritating is that we learn the reason why Eddie said, "Don't let me get too drunk," is because there's a freaking dead body in the trunk. And I'm not saying that it's like a recent dead body. This is like there's flies around this body that's white and blood has been drained from it.
Yeah. You wonder what would have happened if they didn't smell the smell. Eddie just going, "Must be Frankie Potts."
Why isn't he prioritizing taking care of the dead body before going to the club?
He has a problem. Maybe two addictions at play here. So poor Vito has to drive to the grave that has already been dug and bury Frankie Potts in it. And then drive them home while they're singing to the radio.
I will say it is nice to see Vito get irritated. Like he doesn't like the situation. Kind of like how in a previous game in Red Dead Redemption, I wanted John to be irritated. It's nice to see Vito be irritated.
I agree. And the next day, he's still irritated. So should we move on to... I don't know if it's the next day. Hold on. It is the next day. Okay. So let's move on to scene 2 then, which is chapter 8, The Wild Ones, Uptown, April 11th, 1951. Some guy who we'll learn is named Marty is tossing rocks at Vito's window, and he and Joe call him down once he's awake. Joe asks Vito to drive the truck in his possession to Riverside because it's going to make them some cash. Marty's gone, but we learn that he was a kid that lived down the street from Joe years ago. So it turns out the truck is full of cigarettes and they're selling them. And in the truck on the drive, we learn that Marty doesn't work for Eddie. He's not even 18, but he runs errands, etc. for Joe. Vito gives him a little bit of gruff about this, which I kind of appreciate that he's... I feel like this could be a redeeming quality for Vito, that he maybe kind of sees Marty as himself a little bit, sort of being led into this too young.
I didn't really think much about that. I just remember thinking how much you really were annoyed by Marty's voice.
I can't even do it. We'll insert it.
Guy's got a voice like Woody fucking Woodpecker.
Hey, Vito, rise and shine.
Jesus.
They park, and you get these greasy-looking men come out, and they'll be like, "Ho, ho, ho, I'm the bigger macho dude right here." And then after a bit of escalation, it really escalates because Joe just shoots him.
Yeah.
I mean, they did throw a Molotov cocktail or whatever that thing is. So yeah, they kind of did start it, but for Joe to go straight into murder, what?
Point blank, pretty much. Right in the face, chest, I'm not sure, but he did not like being called Porky. And why are they just like circling around in those cars looking stupid? Like, just looking out the window. They chase after them, but lose them. I lose them. And so then they call Eddie, who's pissed. He paid $2,000 for the truck and wants his money back. However, he also happens to be meeting with Steve, the guy from the dock, about how to handle the same gang. And they say they're going to attack them, but no shooting.
Too late for that.
And then Joe says, "What's Steve doing working for Eddie? He works for Derek. And Derek's with Vinci's crew." Vito responds, "How the hell should I know?" Which, fair enough, but Joe's asking a valid question here. It seems like there's a lot of cross-pollination going on.
Well, the fact that Joe's smart enough to ask a question is a bit surprising for me, but it's kind of a hypocrite because Joe was one to switch loyalties, so okay.
Yeah.
Steve wants to switch, but this is also like foreshadowing probably an all-out war between all the families.
I guess Joe fully flipped, and it seems like Steve's maybe just involved with both. But I don't know. Is that allowed? I don't know. At the meetup, Joe is surprised to see that Marty will be participating. They shoot up the gang's bar, even though Eddie said no guns, so immediately we break that rule. Next, they go to the foundry to confront the gang, who have guns, so they have to shoot back. I don't think anyone's disappointed about the shootout, though. They kill pretty much all of them. Vito is worried about how Eddie will react, but Steve isn't. Vito and Joe steal some cars from the gang to earn the $2,000 that Eddie is owed.
And of course, Joe is the one taking the lead, taking the cash. How is Vito okay with this? I get that Joe hasn't betrayed him quite yet, but seeing small instances of this, why is Joe the one taking the cash?
I don't know. Because it's for a while now, it's been the two of them, so it's not like he's fresh out of jail, but he's not new. You know. After paying him, though, Joe asks if he needs anything else from them, as he says he's got something he's got to take care of. What might that be? Suspicious.
Mm-hmm. I just feel like Joe is going to betray Vito. There's no way that that's not happening.
Anything else on scene 2, or should we move on to chapter 9?
Let's go to chapter 9.
All right. Balls and Beans is the name of the chapter. Mm. Uptown, May 6, 1951. Also, they really one-upped my out-of-context summary with this chapter title. So Vito is woken up by a phone call from Joe, who says they have a situation and to meet him at the bar with a gun in a decent car. So at the bar, Eddie introduces Vito to Carlo Falcone, who asks Vito how he feels about Clemente and Guarino. Obviously, he's not a fan after they tried to swindle him for the $5,000, and Falcone says that they're planning to make a move on him, so they have to strike first. Falcone leaves, and Eddie fills Vito in. He says 3 of their guys, Beans, Balls, and Frankie, are missing. He says Guarino is suspected to be responsible, and that Beans is Carlo's accountant. If he talks, we're all fucked. Vito's job is to tail Guarino to see if he's involved, and rescue any of their men if he comes across them in the process.
So the whole thing about the accountant being captured is, again, maybe it's just a general theme in Mafia stuff, but in Mafia 1 we also have the accountant. That one for sure was betraying them, but this one is, I don't know if you would betray them or if it's just the other side of accounting life where you get captured and you're tortured and you're forced to reveal your things.
Watch out, Kathy.
I know.
You might be on a list.
I know.
Also, why do they all have the same glasses?
Oh, it's a special accounting society where we all have to wear matching glasses.
Pull them out. Let me see. So he tracks Guarino to Clemente's slaughterhouse, and I thought we could maybe talk to that guy that falls. But no. He just stumbles off. Vito he sneaks his way into the slaughterhouse through the sewer. We're back to the poop tubes. He has some bad timing, and he gets showered with poopy.
That's so gross.
Poop and pee. Disgusting. Vito sneaks around the slaughterhouse and spots the missing men and sneakily makes his way over to them. However, the smell of the poop and pee atop him gives him away. They smell him before they see him.
That's so disturbing. How bad do you think he smells for other people to be alerted?
I've gone camping with vault toilets before, and those are pretty bad. But if you have to go to the bathroom, you're gonna put up with it, you know? Mm-hmm. But I think for it to smell worse than a slaughterhouse is is pretty telling. It probably burnt your eyes a little bit, you know?
So we're at the slaughterhouse. There's pigs and humans being dangling from those hooks thing, and then we meet Luca again. I didn't take any notes about the conversation, but I just remember Vito then getting pretty much beaten up, and so I guess what he learned in jail wasn't enough for him.
He has to fight this big guy who looks like he's wearing the same outfit as one of their men, so I got confused. But we win the fight. Frankie's dead, but the other 2, Balls and Beans, are still alive. Balls wants to torture Guarino despite Vito saying that Eddie asked him to take care of him personally. And I feel like that could come back to bite him.
I was just thinking about that too, because he's pretty adamant, and then the moment the guy's like, but I want him to die a slow death, and then Vito's like, oh, okay. Had Vito not killed anyone before this, I would have been like, makes sense, he didn't want to get his hands dirty, and he's still not comfortable with it yet. But I don't understand why Vito didn't stay to make sure that the job got done.
Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't want to watch, honestly, because he hates this guy.
Mm-hmm.
So Vito fills Eddie in, who rightfully demands that he go change before returning to the bar. And once he is back in fresh clothes, Joe is there, and he tells him that they're going to be brought into the Falcone family. Galante's at the bar too, and Vito thanks him for getting him out of jail early. Galante tells him that he's making good on his second promise of recommending him.
Two things. One, I could not recognize Galante in normal clothing. I was like, who's that? And
He's
two,
not in his uniform.
yeah, exactly. And two, why does Vito look so excited to be in the Mafia?
I don't get it. I mean, I guess he'll kind of explain it at the end, so maybe we should just finish up this
Yeah.
gameplay part. So, as the night goes on, both Joe and Vito are accepted into the family, and we hear Vito in voiceover saying,
You might wonder why I'd take this risk again after spending almost 7 years in the can. You see, where I grew up, the only guys who mattered were the guys who had the balls to take what they wanted.
I don't know why he paused and said balls like that. Okay, I
don't know if I like that. I feel like it's a cheap cop-out to immediately put words in there just to kind of tie it. Maybe as a kid during that intro scene, they should have set that up as part of the storyline, saying that he was being, he saw other kids getting beaten up, and then the Mafia people came out and protected them, but also took from them.
Yeah.
But that's who has that chain of command. And therefore, Vito has always wanted to be in the Mafia. That would have made more sense. You just saying 3 sentences, not you, but the game saying 3 sentences towards the end of this chapter just to make it give some justification is terrible. It's bad planning on their part for not setting up this character arc and background.
It would have been so easy just to add a scene of, Vito just being impressed, admiring the power that he sees with the men in the Mafia as a kid. That would leave an impression as a child. And he ends it by saying, I was willing to risk anything to finally be somebody. Shut up, Vito.
Maybe you could focus on being a good son and brother. Maybe there's that.
Yeah. Too late on the son part, but...
Yeah.
And then we hear, I don't think it's Falcone, but one of his right-hand men go, no dope, that's our policy, which seems to be a running theme in these games. And then we get a montage of Joe and Vito living the life and benefiting from it.
That is so cringy and silly and stupid for that ending. It's almost the equivalent of like a couple frolicking through the fields in a meadow, of just having happy times.
But then just punching someone out.
Yeah. there's that. So I just think it's a stupid way to end this scene.
I agree.
Not a big fan of this game so far.
That's why it took me 2 times to play it.
Yeah. And a lot of editing.
Well, those were all my notes. Did you have anything else on part 3, or should we close it out?
I did have one quick note. During the whole initiation process of going into the Mafia or for their family, that's crazy intense having a burning sheet of paper, so literally holding fire in your hands. How does I guess the only way to tell which family they are if you look at everyone's palms, and if there's 3rd-degree burns, that's how you know they're with the Falcone family.
Also, why was the knife so giant to just do a little pinprick?
I was
Not
worried
necessary.
they're going to cut the finger off.
Could have used a steak knife, if we're being honest.
Yeah, the drama.
And the music that they wanted us to be, like, sad or something? I don't know.
Yeah, that or, like, being really emotional and happy for him. I don't know what was going on, but...
Didn't work.
Yeah. I feel like I'm such a big critic in these games because I'm always pointing out the bad things. Like, I didn't like this. I didn't like when John was just not being strong enough. And I have so much critique about all the video games we play. I feel like such a Debbie Downer. And it didn't hit me until how much I'm hating on Vito in this game so far. And I'm like, okay, I promise you guys that I'm a lot more positive.
Well, no I'm kidding.
Well,
on that note, should we close it out?
Yeah. Audacity on 1, 3, 2, 1.
Thank you for listening, and don't forget to send in any questions, comments, or game suggestions You can find all our contact info on our website, replayreviewspod.com, or contact us directly through our site.
Did we completely miss something? Are we way off the mark? Or you just want us to take a deeper look at anything from the game? We'll tackle any topics you all want to hear in our season wrap-up episode.
We also have a Reddit where we discuss anything we're curious about. Go take a look and let us know what you're thinking. Our theme music is Condemned by Eggy Toast. They'll play you out, and we'll be back next week.